clients ask me all the time, when is it going to get better? When is the dynamic going to change? Hey guys, I'm Shauna. I'm a certified divorce and co-parent specialist. I personally have been divorced and co-parenting for about 10 years. So I relate heavily to everything that you guys are going through, especially if you're in a high conflict divorce or separation. And so on one hand, I want to say it depends, right? And it heavily depends on you. It depends if you are going to keep feeding into the cycle, if you're going to keep arguing about everything, if you do not learn how to create boundaries and how to stick with boundaries. That is the kicker. You can create boundaries all you want, but if you don't actually follow through with them, then you are also contributing to the dysfunction. I'm sorry to tell you that, but you are. Because the people who get to you are the ones who are benefiting from your lack of boundaries or your lack of follow through on your boundaries. So anyway, that being said, I've been divorced for 10 years, and I will say, and I'm going to hold your hand when I say this because it's not easy to hear. For me personally, it took about 7 years to get it together. Now, 7 years, a lot of things happened. We were in and out of court a lot of times. But it was a mix of high conflict person constantly instigating or bucking the system, using the system. But it was also me not realizing that I had the power to stick up for myself, advocate for my kid, say no to things, not participate in every argument that I was invited to, and really learn the skills on how to break the cycle. And so that being said, after 10 years, we're not best friends. We parallel parent more than co-parent. There is really no co-parenting. It's parallel parenting. But that being said, can we have a conversation? Yeah, without arguing, without ending up in court. Yeah, we can. Maybe not every time. There's also a lot of things. You also learn what is worth talking about and what's not worth talking about. So for example, years ago, we would have been arguing about Mother's Day coming up this weekend, right? So it's his weekend, but of course I get Mother's Day. And I think our order used to say a specific time, pickup time, drop off time, which your order should say specific times, right? We used to live and die by the order. That's what it's there for. We were that couple that could not do anything outside of the order. Now, I saw him yesterday when we were at an appointment for our son, and I was like, oh yeah, Mother's Day is coming up this weekend. What time again do I get him? And he's like, I don't know. What do you want? And so he wasn't sending me screenshots of the order, fighting with me about pickup times and drop off times and this and that. Neither one of us even could remember what the order says, and we weren't really worried about it. And when I say we used to live and die by this order, it used to be on the refrigerator, highlighted, referenced daily. So that being said, it can change. It can change as you change, as he changes, as she changes, as your kid changes, as their needs change, as you learn tools. So if you are going through a divorce or separation right now, and it's super toxic and it's super high conflict, and you're just thinking oh my God, when is this going to get better? Hang in there. Use your coach, use your therapist, use your tools to learn boundaries and consequences and follow through, and all of those things will eventually get you to a place where either you guys can co-parent, or you can at least have a civil conversation. Not every day is wrapped up in what the order says and what, you know, he wants and what you want, and you can't get on the same page. Now, that being said, are there some people who never get together? Of course. Are there other people who don't even have to deal with this to begin with? Of course. But if you are in this situation where you're dreading every single interaction, text message, phone call, I will tell you that it does get better. It just takes time and work on both of your ends.